every customer you help has got to be a personal brand driver for you out in the market. Okay? You only get this though by valuing your customer and genuinely trying to help them with their situation. And gross is not a bad word at all. I believe we deserve to get every single dollar on the table, but we do it for our customer, not to them.